Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window.
Philadelphia Panthers, or some Panthers that are cosplaying, y'all. We're going to talk about that next on It's Culture. Let's get it.
We gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise. Yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win. And I'ma do it again. Watch me win. Then watch me do it again. Tell 'em.
So what's happening in Philly right now is just not news. It's narrative control. We got a group calling itself the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense showed up armed at an ICE protest. And then suddenly, people are now acting like the Panthers are back. Let me be clear, y'all. There is historical Black Panther parties. And then there are these people that keep playing dress up with a legacy that they did not build, a history they didn't earn. Those are not the same thing. The original Black Panther Party was founded in 1966. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seals, they weren't influencers. They were not cosplayers. They were organizers. They built free breakfast programs. Now, this group in Philadelphia, they got a breakfast program allegedly. They built health clinics. They built political education programs. They built community survival strategies. They studied ideology. They studied economics. They studied power. They didn't just pose with weapons. They built systems. And because of that, the U.S. government launched COINTELPRO. Are we forgetting that? COINTELPRO, a formal operation designed to destroy them. They infiltrated them through fake leadership, fake charges, psychological warfare, these prison citizens, the assassinations. That history is real and it matters. And now here we go, fast forward to today. And now we got a modern group who showed up in Philly. Weapons, matching outfits, strong visuals, perfect. Perfect for social media. And then these media outlets are calling it a revival of the Black Panther Party. But the truth is, this organization is not the original Black Panthers. It is not legally continuous. It is not historically continuous. It just uses the name. It borrows the imagery. It borrows the symbolism. But borrowing a name does not make you the movement. That's branding. That's not legacy, y'all. You can wear these, we can wear black. You can wear the berets. You can hold your rifle. You can chant the slogan, power to the people. You can call yourself anything. But without political discipline, without the community institutions, and without a long-term strategy and ideology clarity, you are not building a movement. All you doing is staging a performance. A performance activism is dangerous because it replaces substance with optics, y'all. It replaces the structures. It replaces structures without attention. It replaces education without emotions. And it replaces real progress. And it replaces it with these viral moments. And here's where it gets even more comfortable. Right? Look who's all celebrating this. Look who's celebrating it. You guessed it. White liberals, mainstream commentators, social media activists, they are praising it. These new Panthers, they sharing the clips, they defending their image, they calling it revolutionary. But let me ask a serious question. Where's the same energy for the original Panthers who are still incarcerated as political prisoners in this country right now? These guys are in Philadelphia, right? And you got Mamour Abu-Jamal still being incarcerated by the Pennsylvania State of Corrections. A political prisoner whose, I guess, case, if you want to say it for lack of a better word, has been very quite controversial for a long time. Where the hashtags at? Where are the documentaries for that? I've seen this guy, Chairman Birdsong, or whatever his name is, talking, giving homage to the original Panthers, saying that they like they're a continuation of it, but a little bit more aggressive. They're out there protesting ICE agents. ICE agents. You got other Black Panther parties throughout the country that are denouncing it. We all know the new Black Panther Party, the ones that the Southern Poverty Law Center and all these other people and the original Panthers said were, black nationalists that didn't represent anything. They're based out of Dallas, Texas, started back in the 90s. So you got all these offshoot brands of Panthers. And none of them follow the 10-point plan that Huey Newton and Bobby Seals put together when they first started this back in the 60s. You got to ask yourself, why now? I tell you why now. Because they can't get the vast majority of black people to get in the streets and protest and destroy our own communities like they want us to. Because we're not on the forefront or on the, going out doing this stuff. Now you got your pockets of black people that are going to continue to go out there and cape for every group because they're just programmed to do that. But the vast majority of foundational black Americans are sitting at home, minding our business, continuing and trying to build community, continuing trying to figure out how we can get the things that we need for our own community. That's what we're more concerned about right now. We ain't got time to be focused our attention on this ancillary things that's going on because it has nothing to do with foundational black Americans. I don't understand what the problem is. But you're going to have these little pockets of groups. Now, there was a group a while ago back in Atlanta, back during the George Floyd protest that showed up in Black Panther garb down in Atlanta. And they were paid actors. But they showed up looking like Black Panthers and everybody thought, oh, we got Black Panthers down here. Come on, man. We cannot continue to be duped. We have seen this situation. We have seen our institutions be infiltrated. The Black Panthers themselves were the victims of COINTELPRO. They were the victims. They had snakes and snitches all throughout their ranks, doing everything they can to dismantle and destroy the movement. And no better way of looking at it is you can go right to Chicago, Illinois. As soon as Fred Hampton decided to unite under a common class-based structure with the young Lloyds and the young Patriots, and he had those poor white racist Confederates from the South that lived on the hilltop in Chicago, and you had the Puerto Rican young Lloyds, and then you had the Black Panthers together and form a rainbow coalition. They had to destroy it. So they infiltrated it and killed him. And now you got this guy coming out with the black beret, cosplaying like a Black Panther, all off code. This is like agent behavior all over again. And we cannot be fooled by this. Especially when they're not even calling for the release of the OG Panthers who are still locked up. All our political prisoners that are still locked up. This is out of order. This is completely out of order. And we know what it is. Like I said, they're mad because we're not in the streets protesting at the rate to which they want us to protest at. These liberals are mad that black people are delineating. They're trying anything and everything in their power. But think about it like this. These liberals, they're funny. They're celebrating the Black Panthers. Celebrating them. House way. Haven't heard them talk about one single OG Panther that's still locked up. Then I seen a group say they got Black Panthers in Baltimore, but y'all not calling for Tahaka to be released? I'm trying to understand what's going on. What's really going on with these organizations? Back in 2020, a similar thing happened when you had this guy, Jay Johnson, show up, Grandmaster Jay show up with 5,000 armed black militia called In Fact, the Not Effing Around Coalition. And they showed up in Stone Mountain, marching around Stone Mountain, and then they showed up in Louisville, right? To talk about, the killing of Breonna Taylor and stand in solidarity, right? And then you get to talking to Grandmaster Jay, and you start hearing all the stuff that he's advocating for, and it's completely off code. And then when people start calling him out, he all of a sudden allegedly pointed his weapon at 5 federal agents and gets indicted for brandishing a firearm at federal agents and gets sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. It completely goes away. The whole entire militia goes away. They have no org structure. Nobody, you don't hear nothing from them. You hear no street confessionals. Nobody has got a audio recording from him or heard anything from this man in the last 6 years after all this happened. Just went missing. That's because some boots on the ground activists started questioning his paperwork. His story kept changing. Things didn't make sense. Fed. And they had to get him up out of there. So they trumped up some stuff to try to make blow like he got locked up. But if you actually are somebody who is very, very intuitive and you want to go looking at the Bureau of Prisons website and type his name in there, John Fitzgerald Johnson, you won't find one single thing about him listed. Makes you wonder if he was a federal agent or not. Makes you wonder. I'm telling you, these things just don't seem right. They don't seem right. It's always some offshore brand showing up when they're trying to rile black people up or trying to confuse and cause chaos. Most of these people who are protesting are paid actors. There is no way in hell you're going to tell me that you can spend every single day driving around looking for ICE agents if you got a full-time job. There is no way. If you can, please let me know where the hell is that job at that gives you that much PTO so you can go around and just harass federal agents all day long. These people are paid. And we cannot be fooled by these actors who continue to try to sully the names of great icons and lineages for the sake of some nonsense that has zero to do with us. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section about all this cosplaying. I think it's time for it to cease and we need to continue to call it out. Until next time, Culture Nation, let's keep it culture.